Are you happy? That's all.
Someone's starting today,
If
so
I'm on
I'm
camera,
asking them
shoot
to,
me. Sounds
so
Dunkin' Donuts.
I'm just gonna ask.
Watch it, Fred King.
He's good.
Because we have the-
Commissioner Parker,
He's good.
McGee, you're being heckled. You want to walk in here?
the Honorable Commissioner.
That's a three-time honorable,
Okay.
my friend.
Oh,
Two state, one federal.
No, it's worded.
I apologize for keeping Fred delayed.
8:30.
All the K's.
8:30. 8:30, quiet on set.
Do I have to join SAG now after you said that?
But you were already part of it. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the June 2nd, 2025 Carroll County Commission meeting.
A good time will be had by all.
Whose van will be had by all? Shall we do the Pledge of Allegiance?
I think we
I
should.
think we should. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Label. Label.
Well, we got Dallas
I don't
this
see
morning.
any media anywhere. Do I, Melissa?
Not on the Zoom.
Okay, so we will have public comment.
Fred King from Wolfboro.
yes, Fred Kane from Wolfboro. It's good to see you all again. It's been a long time. I was reviewing some of the paperwork that I received, and I still see that our agency costs are above what it was for the same period last year. And do we know if they're really doing an effort to try to knock down our agency costs? At the rate we're going, we're still gonna be what we were last year, but dollar-wise, we've spent over the same period of time to May. We're averaging $242,937 a month, which is a lot. And, I know the administrator stated that he projecting we're gonna be less than the $3 million they spent last year, but at that rate, we're gonna be the same or over. So I really think we need to, address that agency. And also, I know that you have a doobie fund in there for training of LNAs, M&As and all. Can you tell me, has that fund been used? Is anybody,
I swear to God, you said doobie, not
doobie?
not
Doobie.
D-U-B-E, not.
D-O-O-B-I.
Yeah,
No.
Doobie Fund is the name of the fund that's been put in specifically for nursing and training for the nursing home, and I hope that we would use that and try to encourage somebody to, go into that field and, so we could reduce our agency costs.
Nope, I don't have the answer to that, but we will get that for you.
Thank you.
Kevin.
Thank you very much.
Seeing no, maybe.
I have something to say. Dallas Emery. Oh, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on around here. I heard Melissa's speech last week about her leaving. I'm not sure what that's all about. Obviously, there was a conflict from the beginning. You guys are fighting with the delegation, and that just seems to be a distraction from whatever the hell is going on.
We're not fighting with the delegation.
Well, okay, there's things going back and forth. This one's accusing this one of that. I watched all of these meetings. I watched that meeting. I gotta tell you, I would have been a little bit upset in the beginning if I asked a straightforward question like, who gave the permission to do this, and could not get a straight answer. And I saw it through the whole meeting until we got to the auditor. Then the answer finally came out. Just saying. So I'll probably save the rest of my comments for the end, but I had to say that. Hopefully you guys straighten it out, because I'm pretty sure the delegation is not trying to overstep. They're just trying to make sure everything.
Oh, Dallas, I would disagree with you on that one.
Okay.
Well, the
There's
county's had problems.
$35,000 in an
The
account for an
The
investigation. that
county's
should not
had
exist.
problems in the past.
Problem is not with this board, the problem is sitting with that.
You're
member
new
of
to
the
this
delegation.
board, okay? So I don't think you have the right to say that yet.
Oh, I do have the right to say that.
Okay, well, that's your opinion.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
I guess we'll wait and see how the investigation goes.
What investigation, Dallas? We didn't
The
do
one
anything
that
wrong.
everybody keeps saying
We didn't
is
do anything
happening.
wrong.
So
Show us what we did wrong.
Well, somebody is
Show us what
having
we
an
did wrong.
investigation. You're the one saying it, not me.
No.
I didn't ask for an
The
investigation.
delegation is wants
They asked for one,
investigation.
and then you asked for one.
Yeah, we're done.
Everybody's asked for an investigation. You guys might be done, but the public has no idea what you're talking about. That's it. Plain and simple. You guys are just going back and forth, bantering. You guys need to get along. This is our money, not yours.
Then go to the delegation, talk to Chairman Avellini, and tell him to get off
I was
his high
at the
horse.
delegation meeting. I don't need to talk to anybody.
No, you need to talk to Lino,
Why?
because he's the main cause of aggravation.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I would beg to differ.
I wouldn't.
I know you wouldn't, and you really must have a disdain for public.
Oh, I have a great respect for the public.
Well,
I
you
just
don't seem to have any.
No, but when we're being accused of all trying to get along, and
I just
we've been
don't-
running efficiently since we took over, you don't recognize that fact. I'm sorry about that. But the delegation is the one that has the problem, not us. And when you recognize that fact, that is good.
So,
We need to put this, can we just,
so I don't, I understand, but,
time out, yeah.
well, you don't have, you haven't told me anything. You said there was an investigation.
There isn't anything.
That's it.
There isn't anything to tell Dallas.
Oh, you guys.
I think we put it in a letter,
I
didn't we?
swear.
There isn't anything.
Government is so corrupt. There's nothing to tell. There's something obviously to tell.
We were accused of something to do with the previous finance director. We did not do it. It was internal investigation shows that. There's a letter to that
the previous
effect.
finance director? Where is this investigation? Where is it?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well,
All right, moving right.
I don't know. Can somebody hear me?
Hi, Kevin.
Kevin,
Oh, hi there. Happy June. Feels like February.
it does, yes, it does.
June. This is Kevin Gould, by the way. I see on Facebook there's hay for sale in Rochester, $7.50 a bale. So first cut hay is being made. That's just a comment. I don't need any feedback on that. But I did notice on the agenda there's going to be the right to know training for staff and whatever. But and from 2 to 4 today. And I was wondering why the right to know, the public is not allowed to attend the right to know training for the staff. I mean, it's not, or is it? Or did I misread that?
Since I get yelled at a lot, you can answer this one.
Who did we invite, Melissa?
New Hampshire Municipal Association and offers on-demand training, so they'll come on site, so you don't have to go to wherever they're holding trainings. So we asked them to come on site, so we'd have some updated training, especially because we have a lot of new officials. They were coming to train county staff, Kevin, and we put it out to the towns in case any of them had new officials that could also benefit.
I see.
So-
Well, I guess my question is, but is it closed to the public?
Yes,
Oh, okay. I just thought that was kind of ironic. It's the right to know law, but it's kind of secretive right to know law. But that's okay. I know all about the Freedom of Information Act. I guess I could probably even teach the class. But I was just curious. I think it would be fun for me to spend 2 hours this afternoon. I kind of wanted to go, but I've been excluded from things before. So, I have thick skin, so I won't let it hurt
Don't
my
take it
feelings.
personally.
And no, and I couldn't get, it said retry, it wasn't working. Your link that you sent me wasn't working. Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen, ladies, Melissa.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. That's all I have for public input today. Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you, Kevin.
Ed,
GovernmentOversite.com.
Your, Ed Comeau, Brookfield, your 2024 uploaded single audit to the feds have not been submitted, so I would like to have a copy of that. It's the single audit for the ARPA funds.
we will get you that.
it's not finished.
Oh, it's not finished.
No.
Well,
No.
it needs to be finished, it's late,
Okay.
which is a violation of the law.
The audit should be here by the 16th of June.
Your single audit?
Yes,
That
should
you
do
have to
both
submit.
of them at the same time.
Have you?
Regular audit and the single audit.
Has the Treasury gotten back to you with notes or anything? Any kind of communication saying you have some more time, or is there any communication with them?
No,
Okay, so there would be nothing I could request for that?
no.
So you just simply don't have it? Is there a reason? Can I ask why it has not been done?
The audit got done as efficiently as it could. We were able to get our appointment done on time. And can I just back up for a second? Has the audit ever been completed within the timeline in the RSA?
I'm not talking about the,
It
I'm
all
talking about
gets,
the ARPA single audit.
it
not
all
the
gets
regular
done
audit.
at the same time.
Okay.
It all gets done at the same time. Otherwise, it would cost us even more money to have the auditor come back just to do the single audit. So they do it all at the same time.
So who's holding it up? Can I ask that question?
Right now, the draft audit is with the partner at Vashon PK for review, and hopefully I hear something today. We've had the draft for a while, but we just don't want to release it until it's final, obviously.
Okay, well, that's not good. There's two separate issues there. The audit, the regular audit being late, again, after years of suing this county, the audit still is not done on time by the law. But the single audit with the feds is important because there's an issue with a lot of towns doing their ARPA funding and segregation improperly. So that report really says something. Now, your uploaded reports that you've already submitted to FAC.gov also shows a non-segregation of those ARPA funds, which is what Lino Avalani, the chair of the delegation, was concerned with for tracking. Yes, you have internal tracking. By looking at your profit and expenditure reports, you do have proper tracking of the money that you received. But the public-facing documents, the documents that the public and the delegation has to use to make decisions, does not have that segregation, which is against the GATSB rules and the state rules for the ARPA funding. So that's my comment. It's a shame that that's not been uploaded. Thank you.
Any other public comment? No. We will now recess and go into Hale's location.
8:42.
I move that recess and go to Hale's location.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
We have, let's see, this is the, I looked at that this morning. These are the meeting minutes for the 12th, right, Melissa? Yeah, it is.
Yes.
We've got the meeting minutes for the 12th of May. They're very brief.
That was a hell of a meeting. I move we approve.
Second, all in favor?
Aye. Second.
Then we have a letter from the state requesting payment for the first half taxes from Hale's location in the amount of $144,612. And those are the taxes that are raised for the property tax.
We need a motion.
Yes.
I move we pay the state what their request was.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
And that appears to be, do you have anything else for Hales, Melissa?
No.
That appears to be everything we have for Hales. So we will return to our regularly scheduled meeting.
8:43.
Do we need a motion?
No.
Okay.
Approval of the meeting minutes for May 19th.
I have read those minutes. I move that we approve.
So have I. I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Release of non-public meeting minutes. I
Do
don't
we
know.
only have one set?
No, there is.
No, there are several.
Did you put a list in this
I
time?
did not put a list in there,
Wow.
sorry. I think there's 10 sets.
There are one.
You want me to read the dates you got
If
it?
you want to read the dates. you
Yeah,
can.
read the dates, please, it makes life a lot easier, because I don't even think I have all the minutes.
Sure, February 15th, 2024, April 18th, 2024, June 20th, 2024, August 5th, 2024, Part 1, August 5, 2024, Part 2, March 2nd, 2023, May 11th, 2023, June 5, 2023, July 13th, 2023, July 20th, 2023, September 7th, 2023, November 16th, 2023.
I move that we make public all those minutes just listed by the county CO.
I will second that. All in favor?
Aye. When's our next batch coming up?
The 16th, at your next meeting?
No, oh, for the, we're having, okay.
Just for the record, that we've released more meeting minutes in the last 2 months than the 18 months I was here before that, so we're trying to get everybody the information. All right, manifests. Accounts payable for May 23rd, 2025 in the amount of $490,008.45. Payroll for May 23rd, $321,005.19. Payables for May 30th of $810,574.56. And payroll for May 30th of $249,391.91. Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Department head report. Will DeWitt.
Good morning.
One.
Good morning. Sure, want to sit here?
Sure he does.
Not sure if I was a little, got caught, so I wasn't sure if Melissa had a chance to put these in the packets or not.
I don't think I saw this.
I don't think I saw it either.
That was my fault, I'm a little late.
Thanks, Tom.
Just a couple of quick things. I had not only the report, but I wanted to come update you guys on. So the water main down on Old Road 28 is all done, other than they are going to be coming back to do the paving up part on 171 in the village. They have to, they've done the patch, but the town of Ospey is going to be having Old Route 28 paved, and then the company's just going to hire that contractor while they're there to just continue it up the road and do the little bit that needs to be done. So that's all that's kind of needs to be done. As far as the water part goes, we're all the customers are hooked on. Those 2 fire hydrants are put in down on that road. Everything, knock on wood, has been going pretty good with that. I think they did a great job down there. I got a notice last week of violation from DES on our radium 226 and 228 testing. So I brought this to you guys' attention a while back, but what ends up being is, you know, your violation is just basically you need to notify the public. They give me a form that I gave Karen last week, and she was mailing it out to all the water customers, and then I'll send that form back in with the certification to the state saying we did it, and then we'll be okay. Violation basically means, you know, something, you tested higher, you need to notify the people in the system. If you get to a deficiency, then that's a little bit more of a problem. What happened?
So this is radon?
Yeah, radon 226 and 228.
Okay.
It's a testing thing. So what happened, which is really weird to me, give you a little back information, is usually we only test that it only comes up on our schedule every like 3 to 5 years that we have to do that. But we got a hit in fourth quarter testing last year. Your maximum allowed amount, I forget the units, but it's 5, right? 5 is what you're supposed to be. We had 27 that came up last in fourth quarter. So what that does is it puts you into, now every quarter we have to test for this, which stinks because it's a couple $100 for the testing. And I had no idea why we were at 27. I kind of thought maybe there was a problem at the lab, but I got a hold of the state. I talked to a couple people down there, and they're like, oh, a lot of other departments have had the same problem because of the drought, and you know, they gave me a whole kinds of stuff. reasons. But quarter one, just to prove back to my point, is quarter one when we tested was 2.25. So we went from 27 to 2.25 in a matter of a couple of weeks on a backup well that we weren't even pumping out of. So it seemed kind of weird to me.
What's allowable for 29?
5 is the max. Yeah, and we were at 2.25 in the first quarter, and then the second quarter we're down to 2. So I feel like that 27 on the fourth quarter, something went wrong
Mistake, yeah.
with the lab or something, I don't know, but in the meantime, we have to keep, until our average comes down, our yearly average comes down, we have to keep testing every quarter.
Whose lab
So-
is it?
We went with this one, we sent it to, used to be Eastern Analytical is what it's called, they got a new, they just bought out recently, I forget the new name of the place, but, I mean, I'm not saying that they did anything wrong, it just seems weird that we've never, my whole career.
Seems high.
Yeah.
Seems like very high.
Yeah, we've never exceeded that ever in the time I've been here, and then all of a sudden we have one hit, and then a couple weeks later, we're right back down to where we're always at. I thought it was weird, but.
Did you ask them to do it again?
They-
After it came up on 20?
I asked if we could do the retest, if that would get us out of it, but the state said, no, you gotta keep retesting every quarter until you're.
Yeah, we should do it. Did you ask them to do it just for us, to see if they made a mistake on the first test?
I asked if we could have it retest in that count, and she said no, so so then when we did first quarter testing, we're right back under.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and that's just in our, if it was a problem, it's not, I don't feel it's a problem, but if it was a problem, that's in our, in our water quality and our wells, it's not a lot we could, eventually if we were really high, we might have to put in a filtration system that would do that, but I don't think we're gonna be to that level. I think we're just gonna have to unfortunately keep going for a few more quarters until we bring that average down and then satisfies the.
So what was
the
the
state.
last time?
2.
Okay.
Yeah, so. We had another pre-construction meeting for contract 4, which is gonna be working on our water tank up there this summer, a week or 2 ago. Bob and Rich were over there. The main concern right now that they're working on for different ideas is making sure we have enough fire protection for the nursing home. So there's been a few ideas that were thrown out for that, that the engineers are looking into. We will be having tanks up there that will be providing domestic water for our amount of usage water that we have. And so we shouldn't see any, theoretically, if everything goes like it's supposed to, we shouldn't see any disruption in that. But that volume for the domestic is not enough for the fire suppression at this point. So they're working on coming up with another plan for that and seeing to what volume we're gonna have to have for that.
So what does that mean right now?
It's just, it just means before we shut down the water system, so we gotta shut down our tank, because we gotta have a lot of work done to our tank, so we have to actually empty our tank. But before we do that, we need to make sure that we're covering the domestic and the fire.
Right. And we're gonna do that.
And so we're just working, the biggest question right now is the fire end.
Right.
We're coming up with ideas on how to accomplish that. If there were an emergency, they're looking at possibly up to 2 weeks or less that our tank would be down, so we'd be looking at a plan B, if you will.
So we'll never have a period when the fire suppression isn't working, correct?
No, we won't shut the tank down if that's not,
Right.
that's
Just
top,
checking.
yeah. No, that's top priority, and, we wouldn't move forward without a plan.
Okay.
We had to order some extensions for the fire hydrants. We got those on order, so hopefully those will be in the next couple of weeks.
What's an extension for the fire hydrant?
So a lot of our fire hydrants are like 7, 7.5 feet, a couple of them 8 feet deep into the ground, and we have 5.5 and 6 foot hydrants. So you buy an extension and it basically bolts on and some parts bolt in there and lifts it up higher, so that way you have the right height on your fire hydrants. Wastewater is one of the biggest things I wanted to update you guys on in here is currently right now we're having our tanks pumped out. We have our whole system pumped out twice a year in May and May and November usually. We held the May one back till this week because we got our panels in for the clarifiers. So the electricians are here now, they have to put in the new panels while the system, I can't have any water flowing into the system, I'm shutting the plant down. So we're having it all pumped out right now. Usually that gives us a 2, sometimes a 3-day window before more water starts flowing into the plant with our storage capacities. So they're hooking up the panels right now. There's 3 panels that they're going to be doing this week. They thought maybe a panel per day. I'm hoping it's at least that, if not a little bit faster, because then on Wednesday, the company we bought the panels from will be coming out to, they call it commissioning, but essentially programming the panels. So they gotta be, the electrician has to do his job so they can do their job, but in the meantime, while these guys are doing their job, I can't have anything flowing into it. If they're not able to have everything hooked up and ready to go by Wednesday, the next day that the guy can come to do the programming isn't until Friday. There's no way we're gonna go from this morning till Friday without pumping again. I don't know that the whole tank would have to be pumped out. I mean, that's looking at, you're looking at $12,000-$15,000 when we do our, like what's going on today. I don't think that that's necessarily going to have to happen, but it'll be pretty expensive because just talking to the hauler, he said, well, I might just be able to bring in, instead of 3-4 trucks and emptying it, I might just be able to bring in 1 truck and keep you down enough and whatnot. So we may be looking at that this week. That wasn't exactly, planned in any of our budgeting stuff. Hopefully we have some money. We did plan a little extra money, contingencies in there, and hopefully that would cover it, or either that, or hopefully it just doesn't have to happen, obviously. But I
So
want to
who has to wait for who? It's the people that program it?
Well, it's
Or is the electrician?
Right, the electrician has to have it installed so the programmer can do it. If he's not installed, then the programmer comes another day, and
Right, and they can't come back. So, but the electrician knows he's gotta have it done.
yeah. So, yes. They're out there this morning. They're here at 7 o'clock this morning. I've been out there with them right until I came over here.
Yeah, because,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very important because otherwise, we can't move water into the plant, period, because one of these control boxes are control a deep well that has lift pumps that lifts it up and put it to the next step in the system, and that'll be down with that control box. So literally, we can't put water in the system. And so our only other option is to pump it out, and that gets expensive fast, so.
Fast.
Yeah, so there's a lot of pressure on all of this, I've been sweating it for a while because also just having the plant down for a few days can affect, our treatment, has the potential to affect our treatment of not being consistent like it normally is. I mean, it does happen twice a year, the 2 to 3 days, so that's not the end of the world, but if we had to go longer, that's a concern with our whole system in there, so. It's a pretty stressful time down there, honestly, right now with that. And I just wanted to keep you guys updated that there's a potential that we have to have more pumped out than is in the plan if those guys, something goes wrong or those guys aren't able to get done. The last couple quick things, those were the main things. The big tractor's all put back together. We did the injector pump, rebuilt the injector pump and put new injectors in it. That's all back together, ready to go. The trucks got undercoated. We got both of those done. Try to get those undercoated every year. The mowing of the complex obviously is a 2 to 3 day job around here. So that takes up a lot of our department's time. Hoping to get, we have had, Bob Three's had some inmates out helping around the nursing home, they're doing an excellent job, and I think it looks good out there. And also working with the superintendent, try to get some more guys out here and there to do some other weed whacking spots as they have them available. The hay machinery is going to be coming out of the barn soon.
Square bales.
When do we start?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on weather. Obviously, this week, when you look at the forecast, looks like it could be a nice week. On the flip side is, the ground is very wet right now, so we would have that problem, but honestly, hay is the least of my worries right now with wastewater being the issue this week. I mean, that's kind of top priority. So, could be next week or right after if the ground's drying up, dries up nice this week, and then we get a nice batch of weather in, we can get, and everything's set in the wastewater, we can get going on that. I met with about a week or two ago, I met with the specialist from UNH on the quality of the fields. We had some ideas. Spraying was one of them that was talked about, but I don't know how much spraying we're really gonna do. We've come up with some ideas of some really heavy areas where we're just gonna, I think we're gonna take first cut off, and then we're gonna just try to mow, either brush hog or mow some sections just every 2 weeks, because he said really it's spraying is the same as, what spraying does is the same as mowing it. It has the same effect. So if we can stay away from the spraying and having to worry about all that and be able to just constantly mow some of these bad patches, we're gonna try that first and go from there. That was one of the better recommendations that they had. We just talked with the fertilizer lady with the wood ash mixture. RMI has a bunch right now that they can't move, or they're having a hard time moving it, so they're actually going to give us the material for free. We'll just be paying for spreading in the fall, and so that's working out pretty good. I think they'll start to truck that in sometimes later this week. Sometimes for the first day or two, you will have a smell here on the complex a little bit when they dump it out of the trucks, and then when it's not disturbed, the smell goes away. But we've done that for years, and usually everybody knows after a day or two it'll go away.
You're going biting down a joke right now.
And then the other thing was I talked to Olivia on the hoop house to answer your question, Commissioner, on would there be any with the grant, would there be any other strings, and she said all those got filled. There's nothing holding us back on whatever the commissioners decide that they would like to do with it. She isn't really interested in moving it. She said generally when you move used one, the parts you put in the ground and just everything else ends up being way more work to put a used one back up than it is just to buy a brand new one. She said there's so many grants out there. Well, that's on you guys. There's so many grants out there.
I thought the last meeting you said she wanted it back.
I thought that's what also, but
I heard differently from Melissa later on.
Oh, okay.
yeah, so just talking with her, she wasn't, when she came out and we were on site, and she's like, it's easier to get grants, just get a whole new one. That's what they recommend to everybody. So it's kind of on, whatever the commissioners like to do, but there's no strings holding us back on those. Everything's been met.
Dal, is he still interested?
Oh, in the hoop house? Yeah, definitely.
All right, we'll figure something out.
We'll work on that.
We gotta just talk to legal and make sure we do it right.
I've been trying to get something done with it for about 3 years, so.
Well,
It
probably
appears we're getting closer. Maybe.
someday before it snows, we'll probably get it to you.
All right, that's it?
So that's it?
Okay.
And if there's anything from you guys, any questions or?
No,
Good.
Rest the hell.
Thank you for the report.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Remember, square bills.
Yes, sir.
Karen Rhines, Registry of Deeds. Come on down.
So I did send
We have all
copies.
kinds of paperwork here.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you need?
We have all kinds of paperwork here.
The pricing is very consistent with what the original proposal had. One of the bits we're still trying to figure out is how large our data currently is. Here's some clean copies if you want them.
I think we got these, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got all these.
I got this.
Yeah.
And because I neglected at the last meeting to ask for the permission to sign the contracts myself, they've added some signature lines for you folks.
You just want to put us on the hook.
Well, that was not my intention. But it is a 5-year contract. I don't anticipate trying to leave Fiddler again.
Yeah. And it's 19,000 a year, correct? 19 something?
And we can still get a good chunk of that back based on information.
Based on what we, on
Right.
additional sales.
And we have a full company, not a one person in an anonymous
Yes.
tracking system,
Yep,
a mystery team.
Which are all the reasons why we're changing that.
exactly. And that 19,000, the 19,400 is the piece we're just trying to figure out the exact size of. It looks like our files look too large right now, and we think it's something about how the documents were indexed, and also some of the images that are part of the record that are not actually recorded documents. So we're going to remove those at the same time.
Melissa, is there any reason why we can't have Karen sign this?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so you're,
Well,
okay.
Well, we'll make a motion here in a
Yep.
second.
We have Karen sign it.
Well, we have to approve the licensing and sales agreement in the amount of, what, 19.4 a year or something, Karen? For some reason?
That's the Bastion,
For some-
yep.
Oh, that's the bet, right?
Yep.
And the Fiddler is
There's a schedule.
92, is it 9, is it
I'm sorry.
total annual cost of 92,000, does that sound right? 92,600?
I believe that's true.
Years I keep
But we
calling them.
make back
Right,
a significant amount
amount
of
of
that.
that, for
Yep.
revenue, right.
Postage would have been a great idea.
So we have two. We have the computer system and software license sales agreement with Fiddler in the amount of $92,600. And that increases year over, I'm sorry, it decreases.
Yep.
Well, actually, it decreases to $42,600 for '27, and then remains consistent through 30.
Right, the $50,000 difference is the initial
Startup,
conversion.
right.
Yep.
Right. A motion approved?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
And permission for the register to sign.
She has my permission and your permission and all our permissions. So moved.
And then we have Bastion.
To say aye.
Aye.
There you go, aye.
We have Bastion software license agreement, and that is in the amount of 19,400. And that's consistent annually, just continues.
Yeah, I mean, if the size of our data
right.
goes way up, it
It
will
will
go
go
up.
up more, right?
Yeah, there's a scale on
Right,
it.
right. Right now, we're estimating,
Page
right,
6.
401 to 450
Yep.
gigabytes. Okay. Motion to approve and have the register sign.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Welcome back to the
All in
21st
favor?
century.
Thank you very much.
Aye.
Thank you,
Like I said,
gentlemen.
welcome back to the 21st century. Indeed.
Fantastic.
Let me get rid of some of this for you.
You could have, oh, wait a minute. That, yes, yes, and yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing all the work on that.
You're welcome.
Next up is requests for proposals for paving, and that would be facilities. That would be Melissa. It's just the RFP, right?
Yes.
Which I did see.
So we have an RFP for the county complex paving project. The money has not yet been appropriated because we hadn't put it out to RFP and didn't have solid numbers.
Right.
Makes sense.
So I drafted an RFP and certainly couldn't have brought it to you without the help of Bob Murray and Will DeWitt. But I think I've incorporated all of their comments and suggestions
extensive.
into it.
Yes.
Yep.
It's 5 pages.
Yep.
I'm not going to read it all, but I did read it, and it looks,
So it includes the main entrance at the administration building when you pull in off 171, some upgrades to the walkways. And then over at the nursing home, it's paving all areas, striping, and the big part is replacing all of the sidewalks and addressing some drainage issues, so.
The sidewalks that bad.
And I'm sure that Bob could speak more to it if he needed, but in the wintertime, the concrete heaves and it creates a tripping hazard right at the place where people are getting out of their cars and coming into our building. Is that fair?
facilities director Murray, would you care to?
That's what I've
Would you
noticed.
care to-
Saying our sidewalks have
care to
frosties?
comment?
Very fair. If you go over and look at the sidewalks at the nursing home now, they're okay, but like Melissa said, in the wintertime, they heave and they create severe tripping hazards. And we tried addressing this during, right after we moved into the building, and there just wasn't an opportunity to repair them at the time. So we've been dealing with it, but now we have the opportunity to fix them and get them where they should be. And I certainly support this proposal.
This is an outline of everything that's proposed for the nursing home. And we administration building.
Yeah. Motion to approve the RFP for the paving. Second, all in favor? Fine.
And then what we'd like to do, there are other areas on the complex to be addressed, including, the jail, the DPW, but we'd like to work those into the capital improvement plan. So just get these two
I
taken
say we
care
leave
of.
the jail the way it is, so Superintendent King can have some dexterity exercises outside.
Okay, I'll let him know.
He's here.
I know, that's why I'm looking right at him when I said it. Registry of Deeds doesn't have this problem.
Okay. Thank you.
We have a contract for,
Why do we have 3 of these?
do I have that?
So,
Do I
no,
have-
you don't.
I don't have, I was gonna say I didn't.
That is for the management of the construction project to add the laundry to the nursing home. Bonnet, Page and Stone, we do have a draft contract from them. The nursing home administrator and the architect are suggesting that we send it to legal for review first.
I would think that would be appropriate.
So I can bring that to you back on the
Okay.
16th of June, your next meeting.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
I see Superintendent King. Do you need us for anything?
Just to update that the roof is about a third of the way done, and they should be, according to the project manager, they should be done by the end of the week. They worked through the weekend, aside from Saturday, of course, but they were here Sunday, so they plan on being here straight through this week as the weather looks decent, and hopefully done by the end of the week, which is way ahead of schedule, so.
Way ahead of schedule.
All hail the king.
And it looks great. Everything on the edges is still, they just got to finish the fascia board, but it looks great. They built all the ribs up even with foam and then put foam over it, and then they put the the rubber membrane over it. So it, in theory, shouldn't leak in our lifetimes.
Hopefully no drips.
So.
Excellent. All right, other business, Commissioner Parker.
I would actually like to make a motion for us to talk to our attorney. I don't need to be in non-public to say this, but if Dallas is interested in that hoop shed, which he has been forever, is there a way we can get it to him, make sure we're not breaking any public law? Do we have to bid it? Can we just give it to him? My preferred is just to give it to him, but, he takes responsibility for cleanup and everything else. But I just want to make sure we're doing it right before we do it.
Do we need a motion for that, Melissa? I don't.
We don't have to, we
Can
don't.
we hold till the 16th on that, to the next meeting? I just want to make sure that we don't have to comply with any bidding.
Well, that's
requirements.
exactly why I'm asking.
Yeah.
I want to say.
I think we can figure it out without legal, but I was trying to pull up the RSA and my computer won't do it, so can we hold off?
Yeah, no, but
Sure.
All right.
I have no problem giving it to.
I don't care if it has to go out to public bid, it's fine too. I mean, as long as something gets done with it, I'm good. But if you're just gonna trash it, then.
No, you've been ever since I've been here, you've been interested in it, so I don't have a
Well,
problem.
if somebody wants to use it, it would seem to make sense to let them
Yeah.
use it rather than throw it away.
The only thing I would say is just clean up the site after, if you get it. So
Yeah, I asked her to do all of that before, so I'm good with that.
I wasn't here.
Thank you. If we'll hold off. And maybe we have other things that we could also auction or sell at the same time. I would need to check.
Oh, that
with-
certain thing hanging over behind my shoulder.
Any other business, Commissioner?
I don't mean
Parker?
Chuck.
Any other business, Commissioner Parker?
No, I'm good.
Okay, seeing none, do we need a commissioners' reports and comments? No?
I thought that was just it.
Well, that was it. And do we need non-public?
By the looks of the pack that says non-public, I would say.
I
yes.
would say yes.
Yes.
Under,
Can I interrupt for a second? I just got an email from the administrator of the nursing home asking if the commissioners can please vote to authorize him to sign the contract for Bonnet, Page and Stone once legal has reviewed it. Do you feel comfortable with that?
I would say yes, as long as we get a written approval from
Legal?
legal.
Okay.
I want to read what legal says first.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
I don't want to give a blanket approval based on legal, I want to see what legal says.
Of course.
I don't have a problem signing it, I just want to reverse the order of it.
So after commissioners review and legal and commissioners review, or we just want to wait till the 16th?
No, we don't have to wait till the 16th, just send it to us individually.
Okay,
I don't need to know what he's thinking, I just,
okay,
if we happen to match up, so we do.
okay.
I don't need to know what you're thinking.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how you want to phrase this. So we need a motion to approve it. So you want to approve,
Based on legal review from,
our review of the legal review.
that's a lot of reviews we use.
Well, is that what we want to say?
Yes. I don't want to sit there and blanket sign something without seeing what legal says first.
And if there's, certainly if there's anything of substance that you disagree with, you have concerns about, we'll just hold it until the 16th. We won't
Yeah.
figure it out
But
through
if not,
email.
I mean, if I
Okay.
say I have no problem, he says he has no problem, then whatever.
Right,
I mean, time marches on, and the more we drag it out, the.
yeah, it's
I
on a
don't wanna
very,
drag it out.
No, I know, just,
it's on a very strict timeline. We only have a year to,
Only a year?
it goes by really
goes by
fast.
really fast.
Pretty tight for government.
All right, so I'll make a motion to approve the contract with Bontage, is it Bontage Stone?
Correct.
Pending approval of the review of the legal and
Favorable review.
favorable review of the legal and the commissioners
Okay.
And to authorize the administrator to sign the
to sign
contract.
this.
That too.
Okay,
Yes. So moved.
Second?
Second. Whatever.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
thank you. And non-public is under security?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. I don't know which, you have your cheat sheet. We don't use that one
I'm
very
not
often.
sure exactly what
so,
we're doing, so you'll have to pick one.
Definitely security for one.
I think I and C is what
I.
over I and C.
I
And C,
and
yeah.
C. All right, I'll entertain a motion to go into non-public session under New Hampshire RSA 91-A:32I, emergency functions related to terrorism, and C, reputation of any person other than a member of this board or subdivision thereof.
Let me see that.
That's what it is. Would you like to change that, Commissioner Parker?
We definitely need to add something to this list. Well, that's as close as we're gonna go.
As close as we're gonna get. Motion to approve?
So moved.
No, second. Second, roll call.
Aye.
Commissioner Parker?
Aye.
Commissioner McGee? Aye.
Aye.
9:17.
Coming along. There it is. So moved.
And seal the minutes under the discussion in non-public session pertaining to terrorism.
All the people we were talking about, yeah, that works. Well, someone,
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We
may
have
I
a-
speak, please, Mr. Chairman?
You may, of course.
Dallas, you actually raised a good point this morning about the fight between the delegation and the commissioners. Due to certain litigation holds, we couldn't talk in the past. But the opposing party, mainly the former county finance director, has done a right-to-know request, which is public. We would be glad to supply you everything that we gave in our right-to-know request with a guideline explaining what it means. And that will answer probably a lot of your questions.
Oh, okay. I'd be willing to take that.
Okay.
That would be great.
And I'll take that also.
I'm also not the only one who.
No, that's fine. No, but the point was, early on, we were under litigation, so that means actually, technically, we still are in some areas. But once they did a right-to-know request, that is a public information. And so, we'll get Ed one, we'll get you one, we'll get Fred Kane from Wolfboro one.
That would be great.
I can see his gray stuff now, and Fred Kane.
Could that be electronically? Thank you.
So,
Dominic,
You made me retrospect on it, so I apologize for earlier for being a little snappy.
Well, I can be that way myself sometimes. Yeah, Paul,
you good?
I can't believe that.
You good?
I'm good.
Dominic, just come up and go over this,
Sheriff.
Sheriff Rashad.
Sheriff Dominic.
Sheriff Rashad.
It's just so the
Excuse me for
AI
my
knows who he is.
informality. All right.
So, this is for fiscal year 26 for the State Highway Safety Grant,
Which we do every year, correct?
which, no, we just
No?
started it back up last year, which was approved. We're still, we just got the radars in, and those are being outfitted into the cruisers. And that will be up and running by July 1. And they sent the application out for the next year in biennial, so it's 2026. I would like to apply again for another 4 new radars. Ours are 10 or 12 years old. So that's why we got the 4 last year, so. And then it would do some road work also on patrols.
The radars are what, $8,745? That sound right?
That would be the reimbursement
That's
portion.
the reimbursement,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So that's basically pay for 1 and get 4 is what we're asking for
Two for one, you get 4, okay.
That's a bargain.
on the radars. That's
Oh,
what
I
happened
see, right,
last
you
year
can
also.
car, 3 units, cost per unit, $2,195. That's good.
Yeah.
So what's the total amount of money here we're talking about? That we're applying for?
So we're applying for the 8,500.
That's what I,
Yep,
8,500?
yes.
Okay. Motion to approve the New Hampshire Office of Highway Traffic Safety Enforcement Patrol Grant in the amount of $8,500.
As long as it keeps the sheriff happy,
All in
So
favor?
moved. Aye.
Aye. Good,
All right, then you'll sign and I'll get that back.
we will.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you,
you.
Commissioner.
Thank you, sir.
And we have public comment.
My God, Fred Cable.
Seeing none.
Wait a minute, Dallas.
Seeing none.
I did have, I had a couple of simple questions maybe.
Why is it simple?
I know I'm not part of Hale's location, but I would like to ask if you guys ever resolved the septic issue with the
Yes.
hotel?
Yes.
That was, because it's been a while, we haven't heard
They
anything.
received the approval from the state. I'm not sure if they're actually building it, but I'm sure they.
I knew it had something to do with the federal land.
I don't know how they did it, but somehow or other it got resolved.
Okay.
Be a big old
And,
number.
and I appreciate you going in and at least going back and rethinking about public, trying to figure out what's going on with the county and the state, button heads.
Delegation, not the state. But yeah,
State
once,
delegation.
so once you explain to me that, oh, the right to know requests are public to anybody, I go, okay. And then Dallas gets a, and Fred and Ed. We'll give
Okay.
it-
Yeah.
Like I said, we'll just give you a highlighted timeline, because it'll be in time order. And I'm remembering the package myself, so a lot of it's self-explanatory. But as you read it, we'll just, without, I guess we can give a limited crib note of what this means, that means, everything else, but not in a judgmental sense, but just at least tell you what's going
As
on.
long as you don't hand me a piece of paper that's got a bunch of black lines across it, I'll be good.
No? I actually don't think they're gonna
Any
be,
redactions?
No, there may be,
maybe 1 or 2 that somebody slipped into a minute.
I
Yeah.
think there's 1 name redacted of an employee.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have it to you by the 16th or sooner, because Fred Kane has electronic transmission abilities.
Thank you very much.
And just for the record, for whatever it's worth, based on I guess, past performances by the people who were commissioners. We do our very best to be transparent and make everybody aware of what's going on, and we do not attempt to hold anything back. If we don't give you anything, something you want, or if we miss something, it's not intentional. We do our very best to keep everybody in the loop, and I think you found that to be the case up to this point, and we'll continue to do that as long as we're allowed to do it. As Commissioner Parker said, we were under a litigation hold, which means you can't disclose anything.
But as soon as they
It's
did a
not
right,
public.
as soon as they did a right to know request, that changed the world. The other thing is, thank you, Chairman McGee. Oh God, I just lost my train of thought.
Litigation hold.
Yeah, it all comes together. I'll think about it for the next meeting, I'll figure it out.
Seeing no further public comment, we will adjourn until the call of the chair.
So moved.
9:57, you don't need a second.
Vote with your feet. You took that out of the check, right? Those are all signed. That's correct. I'll give you back my minutes too.
Melissa,
It's actually
for
yours.
some reason, I took Will's expense report after I signed it.
Oh, okay, put it back to him.
Back.
Oh, sorry, Karen's coming to visit again.
There's Karen.
Oh, did you guys sign this? This is the notice letting Hales know there's gonna be a revamp going on in their community.
I don't think we should do that.
Okay.
Why don't we just give people a break?
Oh, yeah. They deserve it, right?
I love the veterans. I just correct it.
Oh, yes. Okay, good.
So I think we need to leave them just because I don't.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
Okay, take care.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you. Well, make some technological magic in the restaurant.
We're working on it.
He's off.
He's on.
No, I'm not off, you're in quorum and you're discussing.
We're still quoruming.
Well,
Thank you.
We're not. Alrighty then. What else do you need, Melissa? Do you need any of this stuff? Need this?
That's our dude, right?
Need that? No.
It's like a nightmare.
Marcia went in for a stint, and they say everything's gonna go fine. But
Melissa, why do I
sign
have
that form.
Do you feel like you're running against the clock right now?
Yeah.
No, we're doing that on the 16th.
Anyway,
Hold on.
thank you for making it quicker. Yep. Take care. And the sun came. Okay. Thank you.
Actually, what's this, like, checks up there?
Oh.
Okay, give the audience a wave.
When are we doing
Thank
our
you,
interviews?
Comeau,
That's at the next meeting, the 16th.
GovernmentOversite.com.